Alright, hello gamers, this is Slamger Gaming here, coming at you with my Terraria world. Now this is going to be a video that's going to go over all my stuff in my really good world that I play on whenever I'm bored. I've had this world for 3-4 years maybe, so I have a lot of stuff. This character, I've had like 2 or 3 worlds on him, but I still have the other ones, but they're definitely not as cool as the one I'll show you right here. So I've had to make a couple expert worlds because whenever I first created it, expert wasn't out yet. So yeah, pretty sure it's this one. So let's get started. Let's load it up, set the liquids, get all the good stuff going. Let's do it. There we go. Now, as you can see, this is my base. This is not my first base, but this is my base I'm using right now. So I got a big chest room. It's all color coded, and I've named everything in here. I have all the different kinds of things. Now I got a little bit of paintings. Got some golden animals just for funsies, you know. Now I got a teleporter room that travels basically everywhere I need to go. Not everywhere, but it travels a lots of places. I have all my crafting stations right here, which is nice. I have my quick loadouts right here. I got some armor, you know, and I got all the tools I need correspondent to the armor adjacent to it. So, yeah. Now, let's go into our map real quick and just take a look-sees at all this. This is kind of cool, if I do say so myself, all stuff that I have. Now, I'll show you everything later, of course, throughout the video, but let's just jump into it right now. So, right down here, we have all my armor, just about all of it, from forever, I guess, but it's just all the cool ones. Like, I have all these Alien versus Predator armors, you know, not really Alien versus Predator, Alien, but, you know, Alien's pretty generic, so it's whatever. Alright, so let's come down here. So right there's a secret tunnel. I'm actually going to close that because that's a project I am working on currently. It's not done yet, but it'll be there eventually. So let's get over here, hop on my UFO. See, that's not as faster. But, so I have a giant battle arena up here. Oh, a couple times I killed the Moon Lord, but, so if you're wondering, all these statues at the bottom have a very important role in the point of them being there. So let's say you're fighting the Moon Lord. This is the best idea. I'll probably make a video on this later, how to easily kill the Moon Lord in my opinion. But by the way, I mined this all out with the drill containment unit. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Don't need to worry about that. All right. So you just flip this switch, how I've hooked it up, and it spawns all these guys. Now what I can do with it is I can just kill them all, and they drop mana, and that gives me more mana. And so mainly I use the last prism. That's my favorite weapon, in my opinion. It's really good because it does tons of damage. So like against the Moon Lord, it's perfect, especially with this. So you just run across, and you're just getting tons of mana constantly because all these guys are dying because you're shooting random beams everywhere. So it's pretty effective, in my opinion. You can get through basically everything just by doing it. So every boss battle that you can do in this area, it's super easy now. But alright, so let's come down here. I do have a teleporter that goes over there. That's my main base. Alright, so right here I have a wire room, and I probably will make a video on this also at another time. But there's just some really cool stuff. Like right here, it's a teleporter that all you have to do is flip one of these switches. It'll make a number up there on this area, and it'll be awesome because it teleports you to one of these corresponding teleporters up there. Alright, so also I experimented with hoiks a little. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, but they're neat. Oh. So, on to our next segment. Let's teleport up here. Now back to our main base. Now let's take a look. Actually, let's take the teleporter away. I'm not 100% sure which teleport it is. Maybe this is it. Alright. So, this is my first base on this world. And this one I used basically forever. And I would just keep all my NPCs down in this bottom rung. I'd have all my chests here, and I kept a ton of banners or whatever, and all my statues and all my armor pieces right here. Of course, they're not all back in the case, but yeah. Alright, so let's come up here, and let's take a look-see at what this is. It's just a random thing I built. Thought it would be fun to just build a giant floating island in the sky. It was, so, you know, I guess that works out. No, it's nighttime, so you can't really see much. But here's a forest biome I put in the sky. I made this so I can preserve the forest, just in case the corruption, or the crimson, whatever's over there, takes over my forest biome, because that happens in Worlds. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's a very possible threat. So I want to preserve this so if I need to get grass or anything, just in case. Because this world's been buried for a while, so it's a very possible chance that it'll take over. Alright, here's my truffle floating island. He's just chilling up there like a boss. Got all my mushrooms. Alright. Now, something over here is pretty special to me because it's taken me a really long time to get all these, but this is almost every single developer item. Now, I do not have one of them because, I don't know, it just hasn't popped up for me. But you get all this from doing hardcore, expert mode, that's what it's called, expert worlds, and you fight mechanical bosses or just any hard mode boss in general. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But right now I'm wearing Chrono's armor on my character with a living flame die. And by the way, all this stuff is legit. I haven't hacked anything in, done all this from hours and hours. I probably have like at least 1,000 hours on this game, if not more. So that's all great. Now let's fly over here. I do have a teleporter that goes over here. Here's another contraption right there. But I don't want to fight them. That'll be for a later video. But, yeah, it's all good. Alright, more contraptions. This is just my little ocean thing. Doesn't do much, just is the ocean thing. Cool little dock. Slime banner room. You know, it's what it is. Do fish run battle zone. Alright, let's on to our next thing. What do I need to show you guys next? That's a good question. Let's come over here to another house that I had. Never actually finished it. I was working on it. I was like, man, I gotta make a second house. But then I realized that this wasn't very functional because if you stand up on the top rung of this house, a wyvern spawns and kills you. Not necessarily kills you, but you know, you're inside a house and you don't want to kill your NPCs and such. So I had to get rid of that one. I didn't really get rid of it. But right here is a zombie shield wall thing that I made. It's kind of neat. It works as a zombie wall. So all you have to do is, you know, flip these doors. And it blocks stuff, so, you know, if stuff's trying to get over from that side, it can't really do it, because there's a wall there. So that's a great feature, but, of course, stuff does come from the other side. Alright, let's go on to the next thing. What's right? Already been there. Alright, right here. This is what I used for the frost moon, right here. I don't know if it worked that well. I was just kind of testing it out and seeing, but I don't know. So that guy's going to go in there, he teleports there, and then if you turn on this timer, he dies. It's just how it works. Alrighty, so I don't know if that worked out too well, but it works kind of effectively. Let's go to our next thing. The teleporter does not go anywhere, I guess. Let's double check that one. Alright, yeah. That one does not. This one goes to the wire room. I'm telling you, there's one of these teleporters. There must be a broken one. Alright, actually, never mind. There's not a broken one. But there's another array of teleporters that I have. So now this is a little teleporter thing I built kind of before I built my underground house. This is just a little underground sanctuary thing where I'd have 3 teleporter connectors so I could teleport back to my base. I could teleport far to the right, or I could teleport straight up from here into a battle arena that I used for a lot of stuff for a while. I actually made this originally for the Pumpkin Moon when that thing came out. It's good for like pirate invasions and stuff as well. And so, you know, you just turn all these on and it kills everything and it's all good. And things die, you know. Alright, so let's head up here. Actually, wait, I kind of want to go back there. right here, this is my old Moonlord battle arena before. This is the first time I fought the Moonlord. It was pretty effective, I guess. It was still kind of difficult. Definitely not. It's definitely easier to do my other arena, but that's whenever you have fought the Moonlord, because you need the last prism to effectively do it. But let's go on to this area. Now, right here, I was going to do something with it. I have not finished it yet, obviously, but it's a giant castle. Now, it could be really awesome, but I just don't have the time really to put all the work in to make all this. But you know, it is what it is. All right, let's do a gastropod. But yeah, after a little bit, I probably will show off my loadout. Actually, let's go back to home base here. All right. There's one thing that took me, actually not, surprisingly not that long, but it's pretty cool if I do say so myself. I made a giant tunnel that goes all the way across the world, underground. Okay, and it has a train track that goes all the way across it. Now, this took a while, but it was great, because I use it for a lot of things. Like, there's a farm right there I used to farm for turtle shells, because I hadn't had one yet. I didn't get one for a really long time. But, yeah, that's not really the important thing right here. It's a giant tunnel. It's what I used before I had teleporters to get across places. Surprisingly, I didn't have the time, really. Well, I guess it doesn't take that long, because I made a giant tunnel. But, I didn't really think to, oh, there's my Dark Soul farm, or whatever it's called. So I didn't really have the time to, or the wires to make a list. But now I have like 100-something platinum coins, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so here's the jungle. Now, the jungle's definitely near taken over by stuff. Plant Terra bulb, just for the funsies, maybe we'll do that later. I don't think so, actually. I kind of want to make this video not too long. Just want to keep it nice and sweet. But, so this thing has been tortured by the drill containment unit, because I've mined giant holes in the ground for stuff. Because, you know, I was trying to get chlorophyte so I can make a bunch of other stuff. Actually, no. Those holes are made from dynamite. I just bought tons of dynamite and blew it up just for the funsies, you know, because I was bored one time. And it was worth it, for sure. It's a great thing to do. If you just want to buy tons of dynamite and blow holes in your world, do it. But yeah, to get chlorophyte was probably the main reason I probably actually did that. But let's keep on going. Let's go with one of these giant holes. Now, this place was originally Crimson, but I shot it with Hallowed to try to stop it. But then I needed to start Corruption in my world, because there were some items that I needed from Corruption, and I didn't want to have to go to another world to get them. May not have been the best idea, just saying, but it's there. It's whatever. But so it's going, and got some Hallowed, some other random assortments of things. Excuse me. So that's kind of funsies. More and more Crimson. Like this world has a lot of Crimson on it, surprisingly enough. But it doesn't say that much. Like the whole surface is basically the Hallowed Crimson. My kind of base in the left side of the world, that's like the only spot where it has nothing. So that's interesting. I have some meteorite. I don't need meteorite really, because you know I have a bunch of stuff that I don't really need. So right here is my end of the train track. But right here is the ocean. Now, kind of weird about this. It's all corruption, right? So that's kind of stinky. I mean, don't really want a corrupted ocean, but you know, I preserved the one on the left side of the world. Now, let's go back, and I'm probably gonna right here. I'm just gonna fast forward it, you know, just speedy like. Alright guys, let's get back into this. Now, there's the traveling merchant. I think he's gonna die. He spawned in just a little And he's dead. But he dropped a hat. I don't know if I have a traveling merchant hat yet. That's something I have now. I might have had it, might have not. Who knows? But let's keep it going. I don't know how much more I have left in this, but it is quite a bit. I mean, I've spent tons of time on this one. I think the last thing I'll show you is my dungeon. It'd be kind of cool to show, and then I'll do my loadout. How's that? Sound good? Sound good. All right, let's put this hat on the hat place where we keep our hats. You know, hat. All right. Just for time's sake, we'll put it up here. Still got a truffle worm. Oh, nice. Alrighty. Dungeon. Teleport there now. Now I do not. Actually, I probably could have stayed there. Probably would have been easy. But how I get to my dungeon? Really easy. I just followed on this hole. Now, this was my second elevator. No, my first elevator on this world. Elevators, if you don't know, are giant elevators to hell. That's just the only way to put it. Like, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. But, alright, so the bats and junk. So, this is how I normally get to my dungeon, because I don't want to go in the front door because of the stupid cultist guys that are so annoying, and just sit there. So, I have destroyed my dungeon. I don't know if you see that right there, but that's a problem. Okay. Now over here, I don't really go here much because, like, why would I want to go in there? I want to get to the meat and potatoes of it, you know? This is, like, where all the good stuff happens. Now, right here is the place where I always sit if I want to farm in my dungeon. I'll show you that real quick just to see if you have a place like that in your world and you're like, hey, I want to farm in my dungeon. This is a good place to do it. They seem to get good spawns because of the color of the brick wall. And particularly I was farming for paladins because then I could get the paladin hammer. But, you know. Alright, so this is a nice place because it has two doors, which you can narrow it down so you can get two angles, you know. Just killed something. They fall from up here, which, I mean, it's alright, but it's whatever. The best part is I could sit right here, and I could just use something like that, and it would just kill them, you know. And it was just pretty handy-dandy, you know, whenever you're trying to farm for stuff. Right there is a great example. And with this tiled wall, I'm not exactly sure what kind it is, but it's a great spot for farming stuffs. So now, let's go and I'll show you my loadout. Let me clear my inventory real quick, probably skip ahead. Alright guys, so here is going to be my loadout. Now, I've acquired all this stuff for a lot. There's only one item I do not have, and that I do want a lot, but I just don't fish, and by the time they added fishing, I was already so far in the game that I just didn't have time for it, because I was doing all the bosses, and I was just going through and wrecking everything, so I'd rather do those things than fish, because that's really boring in this game, in my opinion. That's probably the worst part that they added, is fishing. It's annoying. No one wants to do it. But that's just me. So, here's my loadout. Right here, I have Chrono's armor on my showing stuff. Now, I do use the Nebula helmet, or the Nebula gear in general. It's very good. It's good for mages and stuff. It really helps me with Moonlord battle, of course, but I just like the best because I like the magic weapons the best, and they are most effective in my opinion. So I just use the Celestial Cuffs, the Ankh Shield, the Worm Scarf, Celestial Emblem, Vortex Boosters, and if I'm an expert, I'll use the Celestial Shell. Now, all those are pretty good. You have to get the Worm Scarf from expert, so from killing the Eater of Worlds, I think his name is. Yeah, alright, we'll go with that. But, so, that is all my stuff. And my equipment, I use the Bone Key because I've killed the Dungeon Guardian, you know, because that's, I mean, I have to do that, man. If I gonna have all this stuff, better kill the Dungeon Guardian. So, then also I have the suspicious looking tentacle from killing the Moonlord on expert. Yeah. I have the mechanical minecart, again, expert mode stuff. I have the cosmic car. I like that better than the drop you get, the scaly truffle, that's what it's called, from Duke Fisherong on the expert mode, because the cosmic car flies faster out of water, and I never go in water, so it's whatever. And then I use the lunar hook, because that's the best grappling hook in my opinion. And alright. And also right here I use Jim's wings just for show. I think that's the only real show thing. But I do keep all this other stuff on there just for funsies. But okay. Right here, my tools. I keep the vortex pickaxe on me. I like that one better than the other ones. Looks cooler, and it's better than the laser drill because it mines faster, which is nice. And then of course I keep the drill containment unit on me at all times because that thing's awesome and just wrecks face, and it's a giant drill. Why wouldn't you want that? And then now onto the Nebula Blaze. I have demonic on it. It's pretty good. I like it because it tracks and does a lot of damage. You can shoot it fast. That's nice. And the Mythical Nebula Arcanium. That one's really good for what's his face? The twins. It's great for the twins. It does miracles. The Lunar Flare. It's good for whenever you're in caves and stuff and you're shooting at other people. It's a good way. The Last Prism. That's my favorite. Probably for bosses like Skeletron Prime and the Moon Lord. Really good. Now, Razorblade Typhoon, I just got that one recently because I just didn't fight Duke Fishwrong that much compared to all the other bosses because, I don't know, he just didn't drop all the stuff. I did use the Flare on for a while, but I tossed that aside whenever I beat the Moon Lord, of course. Then I have the Rainbow Staff. That one's nice. I keep the Lunar Portal Staff on me as well, just because it's good to have two of them, because it does the most amount of damage as I can get. Then also I have the Rod of Discord. That thing took me forever to farm. Like, that probably took me like 10 hours by itself. It took me a long time. Like, I just had to get a nice spot on one of my expert worlds, and I just sat there for forever, like watching a TV show. Like, it took forever. Alright, now, the GPS and the REK 3000 and the Goblin Tech Man. I need the one more thing to get the cell phone. You know, I want that cell phone, but I have to fish, man. It's lame. Don't like fishing. But I do have the Sitting Ducks fishing pole. It's alright, 40% fishing power. Pretty good, I guess. Mechanical eye, I just keep some boss summoning items on me just for funsies. Just in case I need to fight some bosses, you know, just because I feel like it. And then I keep the Stardust Dragon. I normally use the Stardust Dragon compared to the Stardust Cell Staff, but I keep both on me because sometimes you want one or the other. You know, it just depends on what you're doing. In my opinion, if you're trying to farm, you want to use the Stardust Cell Staff, but you also want to have minions on you. So I would normally just switch out my armor, but I just have that on me. I have 75 mana potions and 30 healing potions just because, you know, you might need those. Now I have the Magic Mirror and the Bug Net. I keep the Bug Net on me just, you know, if you need bugs for fishing, because that's one of the lame parts about fishing. You need bugs. So you just got to get them. Now here's one of my favorite items, in my opinion, ever. In this game, this is the best thing. Not really. I mean, it's great. It's super handy, but it's a flying pig. Flying pig, man. Who doesn't want that? So I keep a bunch of stuff in here. If I need stuff, I just put it in there. Like, got some worms, crate potions. You know, if I'm fishing, normally I keep my fishing pole in here because I don't like carrying it around because it takes up space. And I also like keeping a bug net in here because same thing. If I need bugs, I just use that, the little money drop thing. Now, I also normally keep wiring in here, but I just use some wiring because I was doing some stuff earlier, but I did put it in a wiring chest that I have in my big chest room. And I got some other tools like the mechanical ruler, and just to help me on stuff because I have all this other stuff. It's a little different, but you know, I'll keep that stuff. I also keep all my Stardust Fragments and Luminite in here just because, you know, you never know where you're going to need that stuff, so might as well just put it down. Now, one actually last thing I want to show you guys before I sign off. Now, I like this little thing. I just keep it right here just for funsies. It turns back the day, and it's always fun to, I know, it goes forward in time, and it's fun to do that. Alright, so right here in this one, you see how much money and stuff I have. So in the safe here, I keep my event summoning items like the Moon Medallion and the Present. I like those both because you can kill stuff whenever. If you have a save around, I mean, you can buy that from the merchant. So if you're on another world, all you have to do is get a merchant. Not that hard because I have a bunch of money. Look at that. You see that number? 205 platinum coins, man. That's a lot. I almost have. Look, I just got another platinum coin. Like that was that. Like, I barely did anything. I just did whatever, you know. Like I'm at the point in the game where you just get tons of platinum coins just for doing stuff. Because I mean, there's just so much stuff you can get, so much money. So I think that's it for this video, guys. I'll have other things about this world in later videos, like whying, but I'm gonna call it a video. See you later, guys.